Is Hurley in the watershed that will be affected?
No.
Well, a curiosity, we were talking about this over in Mercer, curiosity is when you think of how unbelievably water rich we are right now, all the swamps, all the streams, creeks, like Pete said, you get up on top of the Tyler Forks up there, there's, I mean, it literally is like the water's bubbling out of the earth. And looking into the crystal ball, GTAC is planning on buying how many million gallons of water from Ironwood, Michigan?
1.5.
So 1.5 million gallons, all right? So it begs the question of, with this place being so water rich, and with water everywhere you can shake a stick, why is GTAC already posturing and looking to buy millions of gallons from Ironwood, Michigan? Could it be that the very thing we're worried about, that those groundwater aquifers and everything like that are completely compromised, and there is no water to be had, in this particular region right here? I don't want to say that as a scare tactic, other than to put forward that notion of, has anyone thought about the rationale and why GTAC's going all the way over to Ironwood, Michigan for a water pipeline?
Then here's another thought, though. You also want them to pipe that crap back to Ironwood, Michigan.
And they won't. I mean, they're gonna.
We don't want the contaminated water here.
That's going to be the challenge they face. That notion of a mine filling with water and them having to pump that to be able to mine in the bottom of the hole. That's the dewatering process, and in that process, there's a multitude of issues that come up on a scale that we can't even wrap our minds around, really. But part of it is the fact that water isn't just, let's remove good, clean water and reintroduce it to the river. That water is going to be contaminated as a result of all of those rocks and the volatilities in those rocks having been disturbed. So that's where your heavy metals, your sulfates, your mercury, all that stuff is in play. And so it isn't as simple as, let's just get rid of this water, dump it into Tyler Forks, it'll be in Lake Superior before we know it. The toxic plume is there with that, so they have to somehow, at some point consider, and of course our job is going to be to stop all of this, but hold them accountable as they try to roll this stuff out. What are they going to do with all of that, in addition to the impacts they're going to have on the amount of water around here? So it's going to be a huge challenge, and again, it's not very encouraging when the head of the regulatory arm of the state of Wisconsin has a big smile on her face about a water volume question. How much will a mining company use? And she starts giggling along with the two other experts, mining experts. They look at each other, and then she, smugly she steps up and says, a lot, a real lot. He. That was probably the most appalling and most alarming moment I think I've probably ever had in this whole mining fight, with everything else I had to wrap my mind around. Watching that little display from that source was unbelievable. So